Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, my friends. I hope everybody's doing well this morning. The good news is we have Jennifer Woodland in the house, and she brought her smile with her, as always. Thanks, Jen. Appreciate that. That's always nice. Hey, Stephen Umstead, what's going on, brother? We had a conversation just the other day. Good to see your face, man. I hope you're doing well. Ryan Whitfield's in the house, too. Always great to see Ryan. Oh my gosh, Chris Johnstone, check it out. Robin Johnson's here. Hey, what's happening, man? What's going on? Asa Murray's in the house, too. Hi, my buddy Brad Koch, man. Kelly Courier is with us as well. Awesome stuff. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, my friends. We are glad to have you here. Don't forget, every Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time for your free coaching pleasure. Light up the chat, my friends. Where are you at? What's the temperature? How's it going? You know, that kind of a thing. Yeah, you know, if you're new here, let us know. You know, for the first time, if you're a first timer, we'd like to say hi to you. Good morning. We like to give away t-shirts. That's a fun thing to do. They look like this, you know, if you can see me. Yeah.
Looking
like
good.
That. Yeah, I know. They're super cool.
That was a good Vanna White.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Well, I was in the Navy, so, you know, we are skilled at making good displays of things. We're trained to do that. You know what I mean? Because you never know when the situation might arise when you have to do that. And, you know, we want to represent well, Chris. So that's what's going on there. Oh, before we get started, there is one thing that I do have to make note of, guys, for all of you, and that is Kristen Simpson's in the house. Of course, I have to spotlight her and just say there she is. Hi, Kristen. Good to have you here, as always.
How many people in the chat? I'm not even paying attention.
I love it. Hey, guys, we have a special guest, a good friend of mine, a very good friend. We were just reminiscing about when we first met. We think it was about 15 or 16 years ago. Marlene Chaker is in the house with us. I'll go ahead and give her a spotlight as well, just because, you know, why not? Why not? We'll give her a spotlight. This is Marlene Chaker. Hello, Marlene. She's going to be talking to us about appraisal stuff. She's going to help us out a whole bunch. It's going to be cool. We're going to get to her in just a couple of minutes as people are piling in. You know what I'd like to do is kind of go around and see the peeps here. And yesterday was kind of a very cool call. So I'm curious if you were on the call yesterday with Perry Belcher, if you had a takeaway for you, like if there was something that you picked up from yesterday's call that you're like, man, that stuck with me. Anybody got anything? Anybody
Hard
got
to
anything?
pick just one. Hard to pick.
Right, it's hard.
One.
I know there were so many things, but we'll just go ahead and wait. So come on. Anybody got it? Come on. Oh, Bill Rudy, what you got, man? What was your takeaway from Perry Belcher?
I realized after listening to him talk that I've been playing small. I feel like, you know, I could do better, and seeing him and the way that he lives his life and what he does and what his beliefs are and that kind of stuff made me realize I gotta probably play a little bit bigger. So
nice. Yeah, good stuff.
That's what my takeaway was.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, excellent. Good
Awesome,
one.
though. Yeah.
Yolande, what about you?
Yeah, sorry, that was a very good call, very, very perspective. And one of the things I took away from that call was in the midst of adversity and in the midst of change, in the midst of uncertainty, there is a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
So we need to just look at what is going on, have a positive spin to it, and come across to our clients as people that are optimistic and know that things are going to get better. But in the midst of this change, there's a lot of money to be made.
Yeah, it's true.
That's it.
Yeah, I agree with you too. You know, one of the things that you know, Steve has always said this. What is it, team? Chris, maybe you remember the percentage of people that just want to be led. You know,
Yeah. It's like in the high 70s or high S on the disc profile.
On the disc profile, that's what it is. Yeah, it's like most people just want to be led well, you know, and we got to remember, and he brought that up too. People just want to be led along. They want that simplicity, right? You know, they want that, what was it? It was clarity, certainty, right? Certainty and that, that safety, right? Simplicity and safety. They just want to be led. Kelly, what'd you take away from yesterday? Kelly.
Oh,
No sad trombone, guys.
All right, you were
No
close.
sad trombone.
You were close, sister.
So I'm leaving Philly right now, and the person that was in the car with me is a chef in Philly, and they had takeaways from it. So our takeaway was sitting in the room and writing down the things you do not want. That was a big one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So it doesn't matter what industry you're in, it works all the time.
Yeah. Because his point was it's really hard for us to, if we were going to sit down and just think of what do we really want, that might be kind of hard. But if we think, we know what we don't want, well, that's easy. So you can write the things you don't want, and then that can help you figure out what you really do want, because now you know what you don't want in your life. Good one.
The call was amazing, so I appreciate it. Thank you for having him.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was Carl's doing. That's his
Thank
buddy.
you, Carl. Hi, Carl.
good to see you,
he's
Kelly.
here. Hey, Carl. All right, Brad, how about you yesterday? And then Diana, and then we'll get to...
You hit the two big ones. It reinforced that people want to be led. And for us to radiate calm and certainty. And the last thing that Kelly, was talking about, write down the things that you don't want. That's easier. And that'll help narrow down our field of things you do want.
Wonderful. So. Yeah, good stuff. Right on, Brad. Thanks, brother. All right, Deanna.
Hey, so there were a lot of takeaways. Was a really, really great half hour. One of the things that I took away was to tell stories. People like to hear stories. It communicates much better, resonates much better than just giving the facts. So along with everything else, I think that was another thing that stood out for me too, to tell stories when you're communicating.
Wonderful. Good stuff, man. Excellent. Well, thanks everybody for the shares. People appreciate it. Hey, before we get to our guest, Marlene, Chris Johnstone, what's cooking today? You've got something big going on today. What is it? Let everybody know.
Yeah, so we're doing a little conversation at noon today, and we're talking about how to book more appointments using artificial intelligence. So we're just going to be going through and doing a quick little demo of how to make more appointments happen. So we're doing a webinar at noon. It's open, and we're going to be actually like diving into the tools and getting kind of a behind the scenes look at how we're booking more appointments and how our appointment setters are working. So.
This is noon Eastern.
Noon Eastern time.
This is open to everybody.
Yep, absolutely.
Open to everybody. Okay, the link is in the chat. Is there a speakable or no?
There is not a speakable link. So you got to go into the chat and you have to click the link in order to register.
All right. Well, okay. So if you guys are on a computer, a laptop, it's in the chat right now. There's a link there. Click it, save it. That's noon Eastern today. AI setting appointments for you. Good stuff. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it very, very much. If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time. So, Carl.
Yeah, man.
Carl, you've been to all these events and stuff like me. Do you remember? Do you know Marlene?
See, I've been to all those events, but not like you. I remember them. Right?
Okay. All right. Very good. Have you met Marlene? Seriously?
I don't know that I have actually.
Have you met Carl, Marlene? Maybe he just doesn't remember. I don't know how I could forget you. I mean, that would be ridiculous. No?
She's saying Carl who?
Probably not.
Who the hell's Carl? Who the hell's Carl?
All right. Well, Marlene, she's been Marlene and I met about 15, 16 years ago. We were at an event in Colorado, and then we crossed paths many times, like Carl on the circuit, right?
Yeah.
The whole circuit.
Sure.
And so I met her a long time ago. We quickly became very good friends and have known each other and just appreciated each other for a long time now. And so,
nice.
And when we were talking in the top secret loan officer breakfast club meetings that we have once a week, where we're plotting how to take over the world and all that fun stuff.
The evil schemery room.
Right. The evil schemery room. Exactly. When we were in the evil schemery room, we were talking about, we should get someone who has appraisal experience on
Somebody that knows what they're talking about on a topic,
on
some topic.
Like and so I know someone. I do. So I called Marlene, and she was eager to come on the show until she learned what time in the morning it was. And at that point, she, Carl, I'm not going to lie, she threw up a little resistance, Who
wouldn't?
She used some words that were maybe not appropriate to use on the show this morning. But you know what? She powered through it and
she did it anyway. Where you at, Marlene?
Yeah.
I did.
Where you located?
I'm in Vegas.
Oh, well, that explains it.
Mm-hmm.
So she hasn't gone to bed yet.
That's right.
Maybe I got some 3 hours.
So what are we gonna learn today, Marlene?
Yeah. So let's talk about it. Go for it, Marlene.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. And hello, good morning to everyone. My name is Marlene Chaker. I'm the founder and owner and CEO of AAA Appraisal Management Company. Started in California 18 years ago, and now I'm in Vegas since 2017. Now today, what I thought when you told me to talk about, I'm like, a good topic will be the ROV, the request for valuation. And I also sent a PDF of the one that we created. You don't have to use exactly the same one when you're submitting it to a different AMC, but you can use it. The tips that we put, it helps you write a strong request for valuation. Like one thing, if you
so Marlene, just so I'm clear, sorry to interrupt you, but you're talking about I get an appraised value in, and I don't like it. That's what you're talking about, right? Like I get a value and I think this is ridiculous. Agents are freaking out.
Yeah,
they're like, this is inaccurate, right?
Yeah, what is that?
So now we're trying to go back in and say, hey, let's have another look at this. So you call that a request of valuation, ROV? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone calls it that.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
That's what it's called.
I don't know.
Well,
See, Marlene,
I don't call that. We call it, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's what we call it over here.
That's why I'm here to shed the light and tell you not to call it that way. You have to keep in mind, like if you can, try to keep in mind that the ROV is not about disputing appraisers, but about providing credible additional information that may have been overlooked to help, get what we're aiming for. It's like think about it as a formal request to reevaluate a report based on factual errors and comparable data, not just I don't like, it came in too low. You have to put, factual comparables. Then because like what we do, like we get from LO, the value came in low, it's killing my deal. Now what? Like I submitted an ROV and nothing changed. So, but the AMC will be like, okay, we get a fake ROV request. Like there's nothing that we can do. Like we can't do anything. We have nothing to work with. What you need is to get specific comps that they were missed and why they're relevant, and make sure that if your house or the subject is 2 stories, don't bring 1 story or bigger, not the same. Make sure it's exactly, factual errors, wrong GLA and condition, additional market. So make sure that it's exactly equivalent to your subject. Otherwise the appraiser is not allowed to use it. He can't, not because he doesn't want to or he doesn't like to or that. And then if you can try not to use strong words. What I'm trying to say that you have, if you think about it, that we are here a team to make things happen. We want to help. The appraiser want to make it work. He doesn't like or he doesn't benefit anything if the deal is dead. But when some of the words like what is he doing, or this appraiser doesn't know anything, like when you start with that and you put all this, even though he has to put it because we ask him to do it and we are his client, he's not going to do it really happily. you know, like when you're disrespecting or when you're like using those words or like hitting him hard. So try to be a little bit more professional, you know, and easy on like the words and what you're asking for. Because when you do this or you be like nicer with the please or whatever, believe me, even if there's not much that he can do, he's gonna be dig more to try to help you. Why? Because he doesn't get it all the time. So when he sees that, it's gonna be like, wow, this is like a fresh air. Like this is a nice person. Okay, let me see what I can do to help that person that he is respecting me and treating me kindly, you know? And do not, another thing to help you. When when you're putting in our, like a request for evaluation, do not promise the client that the value will change. You can't, because it's gonna put you in a bad position. And reassure them, like tell them that the lender and the AMC are doing their due diligence to make sure to like, you know, everything is right. Now, keep it like I said, yeah, keep it professional, like not emotional, you know, focus on the property and the market, not the borrower and the loan. Because now I know it's the whole thing about like, you know, it's the borrower, it's the loan, but now we're having an issue with the property, with the market, you know, with like the loan. So don't make it emotional, like it's getting my deal. What am I gonna do? Like the borrower paid X and the value needs to hit Y, you know, to make the deal work. Don't use those, you know, be like straightforward that send this and don't send the same comp that the appraiser mentioned or said why I did not use them, you know, and don't go to another subdivision. But the PDF that I shared, and Frank will share it with all of you guys too, it will help you because it has all the tips that you need to like to follow, you know.
Yeah.
And like it depends on every AMC, but now these are like with the compliance and all that. Like with us, what we do also, we have our chief appraiser. When we get an ROV, he looks at it and then he helps get more, like shed more light when we are, like he looks at it before he submit it to the actual appraiser. And then like he talks to him exactly appraiser to appraiser. And that helps more. And I'm not saying that every ROV, the value is changing, but a lot of them, I would say half, they will change. It doesn't mean that we're submitting an ROV and nothing's gonna happen. No, a lot of time it does. And you know, if the appraiser missed something or an our chief appraiser will help him how to, you know, word it and how to do it or what he missed. So that does help a lot, but not always it does. And another thing I would say, if you are dealing with the same lender or same AMC all the time, don't like, you know, send an RV on every single order because they're going to be feeling, oh my God, this guy always, or this lady like always complain about the RV. Make sure that it's relevant, like it needs to be, not on every single deal, you know, to make it more serious, you know. And if you think about the ROV as like a professional appeal, not a complaint, you know, give the appraiser a reason to take a second look and partner up with the AMC to help. Like, it's the same thing. Like when you're sending those ROV, like it's the AMC are going to see it first before the appraiser. Like make them feel like, you know, we're partner, like, you know, to help you always and to deal with you, you know. What else I would say? I mean, we can do another workshop, or I can send another sheets for Frank. He can share it for like 5 top things to check when you first see the appraisal, like to help you like read it, what to look for right away. Because I know it's like there's so many. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I can make something like this, and I don't have to come back maybe that early in the morning, but I'll share it. And anytime if you guys have any questions, like maybe you won't think of it right now, and if you want to send it to Frank, or maybe Frank, I can put my email address right here now. So if you ever need help with putting an RV your first, or like help you, I don't mind. I can like get on a call with you and help you before you submit it to your lender.
Oh, wow. That's generous.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Frank, I see
Yeah.
Greg has a question, but also there's a couple questions in the chat. So it works out, let Greg go first, and then I can kind of bring up some of the questions that people have for Marlene.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Great.
Marlene, thank you so much. I'll try to keep this very quick, but this example may help. So I've got a deal right now. We're $9,000 low on the appraisal, and the listing agent doesn't have great comparables, but they instead marked up issues they had with the appraisal. The fact that this building is on a 500-acre park and all the other buildings are on regular streets. The fact that this building has solar panels and different features that all the other comps don't have. Is there anything else we can use in an ROV if we don't have comparables?
You weren't able to join us
Yes.
last night.
Oh, I know.
Hold on. Got her.
I want to
Go
hear
ahead.
more. Wait. Go back to that one.
It seemed like it was a party.
Yeah, they were talking about what they did last night. Go back to it.
Okay, so we're back on to answer,
Yeah.
Greg? Yeah. Okay, now for example, for the solar, if it's not paid completely for, it could not be used or it won't help. A lot of them are leased, they're still paying or they're financed, so it has to be fully paid to be able to be used in the appraisal report. Now, for location, absolutely, like if it's a different location or bigger lot, no, that's adjustment, it will help. If you want, I will put, not right now, after I will put my email and you can email it to me and I'll try to look at it and I'll try to see if I can help you to write a request for revision and tell you if there's hope or not.
Well, thank you. Amazing. Okay.
Of course, yes. And
Kristen,
another
in the
thing,
chat, what else we got in the chat?
The best part to talk to the realtor. The realtor would be able to help and get you the most comparable, that are available to write it down, And now they're saying that it has to be signed by the borrower, by the lender, and you can only submit it one time. So make sure that you did all your due diligence, did all the, study to get a strong ROV, before you submit it.
Let's get the PDF into the chat, Jen. Marlene's very kindly provided a PDF for us as a guide to make sure we do a proper ROV. Tips on how to make sure we cover all the bases when we submit one. So that's in the chat right now, guys. She went ahead and put it there.
Hey, Marlene, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a question, and I see Roger was asking a question that was actually in my head. So let's say I've got a property and we know it's going to be tight, and let's just say my brother Chris Johnstone is the appraiser coming out. All right. Is it okay for the listing agent to say, hey, appraiser Chris Johnstone, here's some comps that I've already pre-pulled for you to help you out to save you a little bit of time? Is that seen as a plus? And not my brother Chris, but or would the appraiser go, hey, I know what I'm doing, I'll pull my own comps, that's one demerit against you, kind of thing? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, I would say 90% of appraisers, we're used to that. Appraisers are used to for the listing agent to provide comparables. I mean, it doesn't mean, and when they're providing this is comparables maybe that will help you, or maybe they're the same, or, it will help you if you're missing one. That doesn't mean that you're forcing him to use those. But yes, there's no problem with that. Definitely a listing agent can share those comparables.
What if Chris brings 5 of his Italian friends with him when they present that? Is that that's
Listen, that's always a plus,
So I'm hoping this is gonna come in at value.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Obviously, I'm just teasing. My wife's Italian, so I'm just teasing, of course, But hey, I like what Greg wrote. I like what Greg. Read off those 3 things and see what Marlene has to say about that. That's actually an interesting idea.
This is what I was told. I took an appraiser out to lunch, and they said, bring these 3 things as a listing agent. 1, if you have a bidding war, bring the first page of every competing offer. 2, bring a list of improvements and the budget cost of those improvements with like a date of when they were done. And then 3, bring comparables that are at value or above. We'll find the other ones. So, try to sell your story, have it printed out in a nice packet for us. Is that okay?
Absolutely, yes. And especially now he's doing this before the appraisal is done and the
Right.
value came in.
Yeah.
So now this is like, like you're working, you're getting ready for it before. Don't wait for it to come and now start. Like this will help a lot,
Marlene, let
about
me
the
ask you this.
adjustment, what it's done. Mhm.
Yeah, let me ask you this because Greg brought up a good point there. Like, let's say that it's one of those markets or an area where there is bidding wars, right? They listed it at where the comps kind of are, but they got multiple offers, and now it's just that nature. The market's that nature. Does that come into account in valuation? Like, hey, the comps say this, but this is happening
No.
right now. No? Okay.
That has to have sold.
No, the comparables, like the value is not going to be able, the appraiser is not going to put a value that it does not match with the comparables at that
Okay.
time. It
Okay.
cannot be higher or lower. It has to be exactly the same. Now,
Got it.
it doesn't mean that sometimes people will pay extra
Right.
for
Yeah.
it. It doesn't mean that it won't sell for extra. But that's
Right.
what the price is. And like some people, like they really want that house and they want the location, they really need it for some reason, and they don't mind. They will put a higher offer. And yes, of course, the seller is gonna take maybe the half. But there's nothing wrong with that. Like not always it sells for the same,
Mm. Mm.
Does
I
that
see.
answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because then if they do pay over, now you've got the new comp, right? Now there's a new comp for the next
No,
one.
and then that's a good one. Good that you
Yeah.
mentioned it. Now,
Ah,
if another appraiser is going to use that sale, he
Right.
has to mention he won't be able to use the higher comp, like the value of the higher comp. He's going to
No?
have to
Why not?
do adjustment because this house was sold higher than
Above
what
the
it was,
asking.
and he had to put the explanation why, because this was sold for a little bit higher because the buyer really needed it and he did not mind to pay that much, but the actual value in the area is
Wow.
what it should.
I'm glad I'm not an appraiser. That would be a stressful.
Oh my God,
It's
tell
a
me about it.
stressful gig.
Everybody's calling and yelling at you and everything,
My goodness.
Oh my goodness, tell
I
me
just
about
want
it.
to be
That was
liked.
our first conversation with Frank when I first met him, telling him
Well,
what,
That's
what
right.
kind of calls I get.
Stressful. Yeah.
Well, Marlene,
Oh.
thanks so much for hanging out with us today. It's just great information, and it's nice to know we got somebody that we can push a question to in moments of 'cause look, nobody's trying to defraud anybody or getting the person to overpay for a property. It's just when we're talking with them and they really 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 want this to go through, it's just we're just doing the best we can to make dreams come true. So thanks a lot for everything for coming on here and
Absolutely.
and for the great little thing that your little cheat sheet here that you gave us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And yes, like, always try, like, keep in mind that we are a team working to help the borrower get to his house, and like
Hey,
I'm
Frank, that's
here
what
for
the underwriter
anything. I
always
just
tells
put
me.
my email here. If anybody have a question, Greg, send me the questions to help you with your ROV. And thank you so much for having me here.
Well,
Have a
you're welcome.
fabulous
And
day.
so we already got Bill Hedrick pushing for you to get a Loan Officer Breakfast Club T-shirt. So congratulations, Marlene. You get a Loan Officer
Thank
Breakfast
you.
Club T-shirt. So it was worth getting up early. You get that. We have
Absolutely.
Asa Murray has his hand up for a final question. Go ahead, Asa.
Yes, just real quick. Why will sometimes they use well, I lost my question.
It'll come back. Hey, I went to that party too, man. That was awesome. We had a great time. So it's the gift that keeps giving.
All right. So, hey, you know what I was thinking too is, it is early for Marlene, but I know, and there were so many things that were in the chat that we just couldn't get to. But Meg and Jen, maybe Marlene would be great to have on a complete loan officer at MMA. You know what I mean? And then that way, Marlene, it's much later in the day, so you don't have, the time for you is much much better. But well, I mean, what do you think, Jen? You think that's a good idea or? Yeah, you're muted. I won't set trombone you.
Don't you do that?
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
I
I'll find you.
didn't. All right.
No, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. So maybe we can get you on inside of Mortgage Marketing Animals, Marlene, and then have a little more
Absolutely.
depth
Yeah. As
conversation
long
with
that I
some of
don't
our
have to
LOs.
wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime. I'll be able. And then if there is some topics that they will know that what they need help with, like to let me know, and then I will prepare for it, to help.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Speaking of that,
the
I
best. used
remember
to
my
do
question.
Oh,
Speaking of that, I
go
remember
ahead.
my question.
Asa.
Why will sometimes appraisers use pending sales and other times not?
Okay, now the pending sales, they always have to have a pending sales or a listing sales in the report. And if he cannot, like if the pending sale is higher and all the closed sales are, like he has to use, and the value of the appraiser has to be what the closed sales are, but they have to show what's the market are, like the pending is this and the listing is that, but he cannot make the value depends on the pending and the listing. It has to be within like the closed sales. But this is part of the report that he must use pending or not. Now, when he is not using them, maybe they're not available. Maybe there's no pending sales available for him to use, but he must put one if they're available. He has to include it in the report. But it won't affect the value. Like the value cannot be depending on the pending sales or the listing sales.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good stuff. Marlene Chaker.
Any other questions?
Chaker. I always called you Shakar. I don't know why.
Shaker. Some people say Shakar, Shaker. I'm the Shaker girl.
That's right. The Shaker girl. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Thanks so much for being here early in the morning. We really appreciate it. I think everybody got a lot out of this, and good stuff, man. Super appreciate it.
I hope so. I hope it was beneficial. And I did somebody was asking, where can we reach Marlene's company? I put my company here, the website and my email. Yeah. Okay. And I put my email also.
What is the website? Just so we got it. Just speak it to us. What is it? It's
AAA dash, like a hyphen.
Yeah.
AMC.net.
.net. Okay. AAA-AMC.net. So for those of you that are listening, that's her website. You can reach out to Marlene. She's so helpful. She's so generous with her time. She's happy to help. And she's the CEO of an AMC. So if you're a mortgage company, or if you're able to pick AMCs to work with or whatever, let's give Marlene some love. What do you guys think, man? I think we should give her some love and maybe connect with her. She's ready to help.
Thank you.
She cares.
Thank you so much. I mean, I love our industry so much, and that's why I love to help.
Right,
and
good stuff.
I'd help anyone, regardless if they're using us or not. Whoever knows me, that's what they need.
Wonderful.
All righty. Bye, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Marlene. Thank you so much. All right. So we're at the top of the hour. We are here on a Wednesday. It's Past Client Database Day. Carl, you got anything?
I got two pondering questions. So we did a class yesterday in the Alliance, and I've been, man, it's just had me thinking all evening and on my bike ride this morning. It was a great topic. So here's the two pondering questions I'm going to ask everybody. So what's that one thing that you've been putting off that you've been kind of needing to do? What's that one thing you've been putting off that you kind of know you need to be doing? Like, what is that one thing? And then question number 2 is, what's that one thing that if you did it, your future self would thank you for it? So what's the one thing? These two things might be related to each other, and maybe they're not. So what's the one thing you could do today or this week that your future self would thank you for it? And then what's that one thing you've been putting off that you kind of know you need to be doing? Like, those are just my questions I was pondering today on my ride. So anyway, kind of a deep thought for a shallow mind, but that was my pondering for today.
Well, I mean, you're looking for pointers, right? You're looking for tips, right, Carl?
Or I'm not looking for tips because I know what mine are.
Yeah.
It's a thing that I'd recommend that you answer. Because man, there's a good handful of things that I've done that I'm really grateful that I thank my past self for doing it. And frankly, there's a couple things I'd like to talk to my past self about that maybe we could get a little better next time. We could do a little different perhaps. But what's that thing that your future self will thank you for, and what's that thing you've been putting off, and it's a right thing to do? What are those two things? No judgment, just like what are those things? So anyway,
Awesome.
just some pondering exit thoughts. So good stuff. Good day today, Frank.
Yeah, man, it was a fun day. I enjoyed having Marlene here. It was an absolute pleasure to have her here. So don't forget, today, guys, is Wednesday, Past Client Database Sphere of Influence, Call of Appreciation. Thank you for doing business with you. Catch up with them a little bit. And then, of course, the 3x3. Don't forget, if you come across any friends, family, or coworkers that might be looking to buy, sell, or refinance, can I count on you connecting me to them? That's what we do today. Who's in? Who's in? Come on, raise a hand. Who's in? Come on, who's in? Who's in? All right, let's do it, guys. Have a great day today. We'll have Only here tomorrow with the mortgage market update, as usual. That'll be great. You guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you here again. Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Adios, my friends. Bye-bye.
Bye. Wonderful day, everybody.